You know, when we hear the word karma, our minds usually jump to this idea of cosmic payback, right? Like a universal justice system. You do something good happens to you, you do something bad, and, well, you better watch out. It's a really common idea, but is that really the whole picture?
So is every little thing we do just destined to come flying back at us, for better or worse? Well, if you look at the original texts, the concept is way more subtle and honestly a lot more empowering than just simple fate. All right, let's get into it. The first thing we got to wrap our heads around is the word itself. In Pali, the original language of these texts, karma just means action. That's it. It doesn't mean fate. It's not destiny. It's the principle that our intentional actions, the things we consciously choose to do, say, and even think, are what create results. That kind of puts the ball right back in our court, doesn't it? Okay, so here's how we're going to break this all down. We're going to start with this core idea of action, not fate. Then we'll look at how these actions are sorted into different types. We'll dive into the fruits of karma, the consequences. Then we'll zoom out to see how this fits into the bigger picture of rebirth. And finally, we'll talk about the ultimate goal, which might actually surprise you. First up, action, not fate. This is the bedrock of the whole idea. Karma isn't something that just happens to you. It's what you do.
So, the absolute key here, the engine driving this whole thing is intention. It's the why behind what you do. An accident just doesn't have the same weight as something you planned out. It's that choice, that volition, that really gives an action its power and kicks off a whole chain of consequences. We're literally shaping our own future with every single intentional act.
All right, so if karma is all about our actions, how do we know which actions are which? The early texts don't really use words like good or bad. They frame it in a much more practical way, skillful versus unskillful.
And the focus here is all about what's happening inside you. Think of it like this. An unskillful action is anything that feeds things like greed, anger, and confusion. A skillful action, on the other hand, is one that starves those things and instead helps grow qualities like generosity, kindness, and wisdom. So the result isn't just some external prize or punishment. It's about the kind of person you're actively becoming moment by moment.
And these actions happen through what are called the three doors. You've got the body, your physical acts. You've got speech, the actual words that come out of your mouth. And then, and this one's huge, you have the mind. Yep. Even your private thoughts and intentions are a form of karma, planting seeds for what's to come. So let's talk about where this leads. Every single one of these actions, whether it's skillful or unskillful, is said to bear fruit. And the texts are full of really vivid descriptions of what those fruits look like. I mean, they do not pull their punches. For unskillful stuff like lying, the consequence is spelled out pretty clearly. It's not presented as a maybe. It's more like a law of nature, like gravity. And this is a brilliant way to picture how it works. Harmful actions aren't punished by some cosmic judge sitting on a cloud. The harm is baked right into the act itself. It's like throwing fine dust against the wind. Where else is it going to go but right back in your face? The action and the result are totally connected. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. The exact same principle works for skillful actions. Someone who's generous, who makes their living in an ethical way, they naturally build up merit. That positive result flows directly from the positive action. You plant good seeds, you get good fruit. It's reliable. Now, this is so important to get. This is not simple math. The texts themselves warn you not to think of karma as this rigid, you do X, you get Y system. It's way more complex. One action can have lots of different results. Those results can show up at different times. And what you do right now can actually change the results of things you did in the past. It's a dynamic, flowing process, not some simple cosmic spreadsheet. So why is this all considered so important? Well, in the worldview these texts come from, karma is basically the engine that powers the entire cycle of rebirth. This is such a powerful image. The texts compare a person who's driven by their cravings and attachments to this dog on a leash. The post is our sense of self, all the things we cling to. And our karma, our actions, are just us running and running. We feel like we're moving, like we're getting somewhere, but really we're just going in circles around the same old post, life after life. And there it is. The bottom line is that our unskillful actions, the ones that come from not seeing things clearly, from grasping and wanting, those are the chains. They're what bind us to this endless cycle of being born, getting old, getting sick, and dying.
It's not some external force trapping us. We're doing it to ourselves with every single action.
This leads us to the most profound, the most mind-bending part of the whole teaching. If our actions are what keep us on this wheel, what's the goal? Is it just to do more skillful things so you get a better rebirth next time? The answer is a pretty radical no.
Just listen to the power in these words. These are from senior monks who had actually done it. This isn't about getting something good. It's about ending the things that cause all the trouble in the first place. The lust, the hate, the delusion, the very roots of unskillful karma, they're just gone. And the victory they're talking about isn't about winning a better life. The victory is ending the cycle of rebirth altogether. The game is over. They've won.
And that's the final, crystal clear statement. The chain is broken. The actions that would lead to another life have stopped. The dog has stopped running around the post.
So this is the big takeaway that can kind of flip your whole understanding. The path isn't about racking up good karma points to get a better spin on the wheel next time. It's about understanding the system so completely that you can step off the wheel entirely. The goal is to stop making any new karma, skillful or unskillful, that leads to more rebirth. That, right there, is freedom. Which, of course, brings it all right back to us. Here, now. This isn't just some ancient philosophy. It's a direct challenge. If karma is action, and every one of our choices is planting a seed that will absolutely bear fruit someday, it leaves us with one heck of an important question to think about, doesn't it?